Hey, it's Monday. It's the Better Odds. I'm Joey D. Tony C. Tony, how are you? It's Monday, the 3rd of February.
It's out of January. That's all I'm glad to hear.
Yeah, man, that January was a long year.
Yes, it was.
It was indeed. So, Tony, how was breakfast this morning?
Breakfast was okay. What did we talk about this morning? Just talked about some second half stuff. Went over the shitty day yesterday.
Yeah.
Something I'm forgetting, which I'll remember after we're done. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah, soccer winner, which is nice. I didn't give it out, and I posted it up on X in Italy, which is good. And we got I just, I was at the doctor's earlier and fucked up my whole day because I sat down and took my coat off, and the alarms go off. I wasn't there 30 seconds.
It wasn't you.
So I walked down the stairs, and the fireman says, "Get out as quickly as possible." I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Carbon monoxide." I said, "Oh. Good things. What of 6 months this has been." Anyway, we're back, and
yeah, good.
But it killed an hour. I had to stand outside for an hour, so.
Yeah, well, at least it was a little better today than it's been.
It was actually bad.
I went back outside this afternoon and was like, "Oh, kind of nice." As you can probably tell, I'm sick as a dog. I can't hear anything. My sinuses or whatever. It's just
it's going around.
Unbelievably unpleasant.
All right.
And you know what I'm completely fixated on now? I'm looking above my shoulder here, and it says Pod-est.
A Pod-est?
I missed a C. I never noticed that.
Call it whatever you want. Just don't call me late for breakfast.
Yeah, and listen, if you don't pick winners, it's a Pod-est. That's for sure.
Yesterday was a Pod-est for sure.
We had one cash on the. We were really in a good position with that golf until it wasn't. It was unbelievable. Jake Knapp kind of crumbled. He needed to shoot. Everybody went low yesterday. And then I was still mad. Probably the worst bet of all time was the Ludwig Oberg. I forgot that this was a no-cut event. Dude, he just said, "All right, well, I played one round. I'm getting paid. I don't feel good. I'm out of here." It was a terrible play. But hey, you live, you learn. It wasn't. That was just an oversight. Shouldn't even ever considered it.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got the cold. You got the thing. You're feeling a little bit better. I'm feeling whatever. We got some soccer winner today. So what about tonight? Because I know there's definitely a little scandal, if you will.
You think? Yeah. I've been talking about this for I don't know how long to as many people as would listen. Most laughed at me, said, Capone's, it's conspiracy theorists. I told you we did this shit back in the 80s. We had players that we paid. This is only on a small scale, nothing like this. This has been going on since then. It's only going to get worse. It's not going to stop. And it's going on tonight, by the way, in more than one game. Let me just give you a heads up on that. Do I know what game it is? I do not. I wish I did.
Yeah,
but I can promise you it's going on tonight. It's going to be going on tomorrow in college and NBA. It goes on every single night. So just remember that. When you make a bet, and when I see it, and I've written about these teams before. Don't quote me, but you can check back on my Twitter and see when this game was definitely fixed, that game was definitely fixed. And it had nothing to do with of course, if you look at the line moves early, you could tell right away something's not right. But you can see when these games come down to crunch time, if you watch closely what goes on and the way they end these games, believe me, I promise you, I don't care if they make these numbers with computers, the best bookmakers in the world, this algorithm. That's all bullshit. You cannot get a number within a half a point or a point religiously. It's fucking impossible. There's too many scenarios to incorporate into a number to tell me, oh, these guys are so good. How do these bookmakers do it? They have nothing to do with it. These games are played to the number. Half of these games are played to the number by either the referee, the players know what the numbers are, the refs know what the numbers are. I'm telling you, a good portion of these games are fixed. Now you don't believe me now. I don't know what else to tell you after this article came out. I bet you didn't believe me when the college football article came out a couple of years ago that 13 or however many different teams were point shaving. This goes on every night in every sport. I've been talking about it forever, and people still think I'm nuts. Just remember when you say, oh, how do they make that number? They don't make anything. They make a generic number with their algorithm that's not as good as what a lot of bettors have. And then they shape it by taking bets. But they can only move it so much, and then they get hit on the other side. If they're not part of it, they don't know which way the number's going either. There's big time groups doing this shit. There's criminal elements from other countries that shouldn't even be in this country that are doing this shit. It's going to go on tonight. It's going to go on tomorrow. And it's been going on since the first time I mentioned it. People laughed at me then. It's going to go on forever.
Yeah, I would imagine it's actually gotten worse since PASPA. So that's been 5 years or nearly. We talked about the props. It's listen. You might not be necessarily affecting the outcome of the game. Like you said, this guy, takes himself out early in the game. This would seem like a situation. It's probably more like the you see a cockroach or a mouse. Well, there's hundreds more over here. Somewhere else that you don't see. I'd be shocked to find out it wasn't, and then it wasn't greater than we already suspect. Then you couple it all with how corrupt, for lack of a better word, that the books themselves are. With limiting, the clear push for single game parlays and things that are. I get it. Like the odds are not in your favor, but boy,
they're paying players for sure. I don't even have to think about that.
Right.
That they're involved. And you got players involved. You busted a ref. You thought he was the only guy. There's dozens behind him. Donahue was not the only crooked ref. They're all through the league. They're in college basketball. They bet. The players bet. Who was involved? Was Porter involved and somebody else?
Yeah, Rozier.
Rozier had a big gambling debt that he didn't want to pay or couldn't pay, whatever it was. And they bought him off cheap. It's easy to do. And the problem is nobody can fix it. Because what are you going to do if Terry Rozier plays 3 minutes and takes himself out of the game on a prop that was bet under by everybody? It's over. Nobody's any more the wiser. They just say, he probably got nicked up, this and that. And, the trainer takes him in the back and says, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay, but I think I might have pulled something. We'll check it out in the morning. Well, the trainer check it out in the morning again. We'll check it out in the morning again. In the meantime, you got a game you're betting into a prop that's dead from the time you bet it if you're on the over. And it just is what it is. This is what you have to deal with. I see it, and I can watch a screen, and just by the score, I could tell what's going on. I don't have to watch the game. I already know what's going on. There is no way humanly possible. I'm telling you, from 45 fucking years of being involved in this business on one side or the other, it's impossible to get a number that close. I'm not talking about 3s and 7s in the NFL. I'm talking about 141s and it falls on 140, or 141 and it falls on 142. That doesn't exist. Get that out of your head. Don't give them that much credit. They're not that good. They can't make a number that good. It's an impossibility. I don't care if they have PEV. Everybody's got pace numbers and all that other horse shit. It's meaningless. And if you believe that, they're going to sucker you right into that trap. So just realize that that's part of the game when you're betting. That's what you got to deal with. It's hard enough to win if everything's legit, and it is the furthest thing from that.
Well, that was my point. So you have the the player side of illegitimacy or shenanigans, and then you have the corporate book side and everything else. Political side. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's a tough task already. And then, boy, I got to tell you, it's just it's a scary proposition looking at it from 30,000 feet. And then you see this story. And again, you have to assume, to your point, that that's just scratching the surface.
Oh, 100%. I'm telling you, it goes on every night.
Yeah.
That's guaranteed. If I had if I watched every NBA game, I'd find one every night that was fixed. At least one.
Well, that doesn't shock me. I mean, and that well, think about how normalized they've made the what do they call it? The management, like Joel Embiid has played 47% of his games. He's missed almost as many games. It's insane. It's completely insane. So the load management, you really can kind of hey, listen, this guy here, yeah, we had to load manage.
I mean, props are easy to fix. The easiest
That
thing.
sounds like load management.
You only need one guy.
Like NBA interrupt this. Load management.
Props are the easiest thing to fix because you only have one guy to deal with. Doesn't involve the refs. Doesn't involve time. Doesn't involve the rest of the team. Easiest thing to fix.
Surely.
Can they fix every one? Of course not. No. They don't have to. They only want to fix the one they're betting on. Would I bet them if I knew? Yeah, I would. I know all these guys holier than thou. They say, "Oh, I wouldn't be involved." And it's so full of shit. They'd be the first ones to bet all over it. All these big swinging dicks that don't even get me.
Yeah, well, it's the same. It's the it's the Jordan Peterson. What would if you were in Germany in the 1930s? What would you be? You'd be a Nazi. I hate to break it to you. Hate to break it to you.
They want to be holier than thou, and they would never take advantage. They want to win straight up. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah. Well, it's was something that we'll have to obviously keep our eye on, but we're just going to read more and more about it, and we're going to find out more and more, and it's going to probably be more instances. I'd have to imagine, certainly not less, and we'll see how really rotten the apple really is.
Pretty rotten, trust me. Yeah. I do have one prop before time runs.
Well, hit it. Hit it. We're almost out of time, man.
Terry and Prince, the guy for the Bucks. I don't know his first name. Prince is last name.
Couldn't fucking tell you.
Let me look him. Hold on a minute. I want to give you the right name. It's only going to take me 30 seconds, maybe. All right. Torian Prince. I bet under 13.5 minus a quarter. I don't think you're going to get 13.5 now. Take 12.5. Bet under 12.5. I think it's way too high. If I have any other ones, I'll post them on X.
Yeah, and then hopefully Torian Prince gets a little, gets a hangnail mid-game, got to take himself out.
Let's hope.
A little load management.
I wish I knew.
I'm going to load manage this podcast. I'll see you tomorrow at the breakfast.
All right, brother. You have a good one.
Later.